Bishop Kukah hit Tinubu so hard. What has he got to say this time around? Bishop Kukah? Yes, Bishop Kukah. Bishop Matthew Kukah, the Bishop of the Sokoto Diocese, has suggested that given the complexity of Nigeria, a president, particularly one like Tinubu, who has been actively involved in grassroots engagement, should avoid certain mistakes and be attuned to the voices of the marginalized and vulnerable in society. Have you forgotten that a majority of the people who call themselves activists, now Nigerians have been able to get that they were using all of those things to get to be relevant and get to the top. It's not as if they really meant it. Some of them, maybe they meant what they were talking about, but as soon as they get there, they will begin to do the same thing that they have been complaining about those who have been in power before. So Bishop Kukah should understand this. According to him, fundamentally, for a complicated country like this, a Nigerian president must serve enough sophisticated listening devices that he is hearing the voice of the voiceless wherever they may be. I think that because President Tinubu has been pounding the streets for so long, there are certain mistakes he should not make. We can really see, and I see go back to those who call themselves activists. We now found out that they were just deceiving the people just to get to the top. Because I see no reason why they will say somebody has been preparing to be president for only God knows when. At the end of the day, somebody who has been preparing to be president, coming out boldly to tell you that he's going to continue from where a failed president stops. And you want to believe such a person? Such a person who only thinks about politics, not about the welfare of the people. Some people will tell you that the oppressed love the chains that their oppressors are putting on them. That is it. Somebody said, I'm going to continue from where Buhari's failure stopped. And you are coming to tell us that he has been preparing for what? Rhetoric upon rhetoric. I know your pain. I know your whatever. You are this, you are that. I understand perfectly well. Oh, now waiting. Oh, now wash. Believe them at your own peril. Believe them at your own risk. Nigeria must be completely unbundled. That is if we want to make progress. If really we are serious to make progress. I don't even need to blame the people that bundled everything to the center, but amends must be made before creation of states. For the fear of what happened during the Civil War, regions were walking and Nigeria was envy of the world. Let us retrace our steps without the fear of which region wants to leave the marriage and move forward. God bless Nigeria. Really? You think so? You think people are ready to do the needful? The problem I have with people is that a lot of Nigerians have been preferring solutions. We know what it takes, but definitely we will not do it. We know the solution to the problems that we are faced with, but nobody is going to do nothing. Nobody is going to do anything. They know the solutions, but they don't want to go in the line of that solutions because it will not favor them. Even if Nigeria unbundled million times, it will not change anything except the people that live in Nigeria change. Nothing happens to Nigerian structure. It is the human being that needs to change their mindset. We should review our constitution to weaken the center, making it less attractive. Who are the people that are supposed to do that? The people who are supposed to do that are the ones who are championing that it has to be the status quo must remain. Then what do you have to say when you talk about some changes in the constitution and what have you? Meanwhile, the people who are benefiting it are the ones who are supposed to change it. Then you expect them to do the needful to change it against themselves, if not because of greed. I always say it, the politicians of the developed countries, they are not our own country that is the headquarter of people living in abject poverty, our politicians are wealthier than them, they will still go back to those countries and be looking for help here and there, aid here and there. Tell me, the politicians in those developed countries are not as rich as what we have. Let's use Nigeria as a case study. They are not as rich, and yet our politicians are living larger than life, but their country is in a mess. They will borrow money and share among themselves. They will borrow money to service debt. Who does that? The same people who are supposed to change the policies are the ones enjoying it, and they have vowed that they will never change anything in as much it's going to benefit the masses. They won't do that. They will never do that. It's an unfortunate situation we found ourselves. The voiceless are with states, they are not with federal governments. State creation is the best thing that happens to Nigeria. Eastern region was worse than South Africa apartheid, while West and entire North were like families. Non-Igbos in the East suffered. You might be too young in the early 60s. Thank you. Go on. It is a cancer that is not sold on the streets. Only the wise hear the voice of the wise. Nigeria is blessed with both human and natural resources, and intellectually, our problems are tribalism introduced by politicians to confuse and divide us to enable them have their ways, and religion difference as a result of wrong interpretation of doctrines for ego. Roberto, is that not what we have been talking about? So guys, let's know what you think. We are waiting for your great contribution.